Hello, this is Christy from Unity3D. Something a little different today. We're going to be exploring how to export a model from Blender into the game engine Unity. It's something that when I first started I had a lot of trouble with, and it really took me ages to work out how to do it. I had to start by exporting individual FBX files, and it was a nightmare. So I hope to clear a few problems out of the way here. First thing is we're using this TARDIS model, which I made in an earlier tutorial. Everything's quite nicely set up, so things are parented, so the lamp is parented to the outside. There's no modifiers on anything, there might be some, but not many, just to keep it nice and simple. Okay, so let me save this, save it somewhere on your hard drive, and then you go along and find it. So here we've got TARDIS model.blend. Now, when you create a Unity project, it comes up as a folder, and in this folder there is an assets folder. So you want to drop, or in this case, let's copy the model into the assets folder. You can just drop the .blend file straight into that assets folder. And let's look over to Unity and see what's happened. Wait a while, and so we're importing assets, and we will have a TARDIS model and a folder called materials, and this will have lots of different materials set up. So let's just go up to the assets folder and drag the TARDIS model into the scene. Okay, so we can see what we're doing. The first thing you probably notice is it's all in smooth shading. We want to turn this off because you can see it really doesn't look very good. So let's click on the TARDIS model in Unity, and under Model, Normals and Tangents, you can change from Import to Calculate. Then you can change the smoothing angle much like you can with an edge split modifier. Let's just click Apply. Wait a sec, and you can see created a much sharper image. Now, however, all these materials haven't actually been applied, or maybe they have, but they haven't been set up as anything, they're just grey. So, you've got this front door material, but there's no texture on it. The lamp material, they're all just plain grey. So let's go through the first ones that don't actually have any textures on them. So we can just do this by going through each one and changing them. There is no simple way, as far as I can find out, to actually import the models with the materials already set up. So, Windows. Okay, so now we need to get in the textures. Now this can be done simply by, let's see if I've got the textures already in here. Yeah, the textures are already set up in the .blend file. But this .blend file doesn't actually do anything anymore because it's not the .blend file that's actually in the assets folder. So if we go into the assets folder now, we can then double click on the TARDIS model, and it will open up this model here. Now you can see the reason why it hasn't set it up with any textures in Unity is because it for some reason wiped the textures when we moved the file. So we need to just go through and select the image texture that we used. So let's go over to the node editor. You see it's got it already in there, but for some reason it just can't cope with transferring them. So we need to find these individual files in your file system, wherever you put them. Let's just work out where I put it. Okay, and so we've got these two textures here, which are the ones we want. So if we now just drag this straight into the assets folder, you can drag it straight into the Unity window. You'll see we've got these two set up here. Now if we go into the materials, we can select the texture type from this list here. Click select. Try that. And you'll see it should have applied it right there. And it uses the last UV coordinates that we used in Blender. So we can do just the same thing with, which one is it? This one. And it's got it on the top like that. So that's all nice and fine. And I'll just save this scene. But now, let's see what happens when we press play. And absolutely nothing will happen because I haven't changed the camera view. Let's have a look in like this. You can see that the way the axes are set up, the blue axis, which is always Z, is going up. Now that's alright for Blender because Blender works out that the direction is up. Yeah. Let's start again. In Blender, Z is up. In Unity, Y is up. I don't know why. It's just a little fiddly thing that people have to work around. So if there's only one object in your scene, things can start going a little weird because we've got all the TARDIS lamp and emitter. It's stabilized it for some reason. But if we say write a script that makes it go forward, it would go up instead of forward because Unity thinks that Z is forward and Blender thinks that Y is forward. Anyway, you get the idea. So what we need to do to make everything work properly is go into edit mode and rotate around the center, so it's 3D cursor, and rotate by 90 degrees. And then apply that rotation and scale. And we can do the same with this and this. So let's just apply all these. Okay, we can now just turn them back up the right way again. And we can now, of course, continue modeling with them as much as we want. But when we go into Unity, it will have set it up like this, so forward is that way. We of course then have to change the rotation to get it working much as it did before. And now we see the blue axis goes forward and the Y axis goes up, the X axis goes side to side. And that should work fine in your game now. As I said, you need to have, for some reason, two objects in your scene. So let's just say this was all one object. I would just add an empty in the base like that, and that would then work fine. If you don't do that, as soon as you play, for some reason, things can start rotating by 90 degrees this way and 270 degrees the other way, and it's a right pain. But that seems to sort it out all fine. So I hope you've learned something from this tutorial. Of course, like me on Facebook at 52hider3D. You can of course like and subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Thanks for watching.